around between 40 and 70 is are good numbers to go in between. We've had it as low as 20 sometimes. Generally, if you go above 70, it's going to be really hard. So if you're going up against a few players and it's like a sneak mission, if you want high accuracy, it's cool. General skill, this is generally how AI is going to react to fire. If you're shooting a machine gun at a rookie general skill, they're not going to take cover. They're going to turn and start shooting at you. If you have it on veteran, they're going to look for cover generally first. If they don't find any, then they're going to start. Then they're just going to turn and start shooting, or lay down and start shooting, stuff like that. They're going to sometimes use hand grenades. They're going to use smoke grenades more for covering. They're just going to do a lot more things on general when your general skills up. I like to put this at veteran because it gives a little bit better of an AI. They just get smarter. They don't do anything that makes it. They don't make it too much harder. They just do more humanistic things if they were getting shot at or when they're trying to shoot at you. General skill when it goes up, though, one big thing is they do have a tendency to get into vehicles more often. So if this is high and you have empty vehicles near them, they will jump in the vehicle and start using it. Spotting skill, just as it sounds, the higher it is, the more likely they're going to see you. So if you have this at rookie, you can literally walk within like 10 meters of somebody and they might not see you. If you have it up at veteran, they're going to basically see you as far away as they can see you. They're going to be constantly scanning the horizon, and spotting skill being up high is really nice if you have the aiming skill low. If you have the spotting skill low, you can have the aiming skill high, stuff like that. So it all depends on your mission. If you want your AI to be intelligent or not, if you want your AI to be in combat mode where they're expecting stuff, you can have spot it. You can do this mid combat too. So you can have the spotting skill low because the enemy is in a lull sense, and then as the game goes on, you can gradually increase their spotting skill because the enemies are getting more and more accustomed to the fact that there's going to be combat going on. Commanding skill does apply to Gaia, and it also applies to groups. So what this does is your groups are going to be commanded a little bit better by their individual team and squad leaders for the AI, as well as Gaia is going to react a little bit harsher. So on a veteran level, if I have 50 units, let's say, given to Gaia in a zone, and they're all on aggressive, Gaia is going to go, okay, I'm going to pretty much almost hit you with all 50 units. It's going to command massive flanks on you and everything like that. Or it might hold units in reserve. It's going to react based on your numbers. If you have like 2 people, it's not going to send all 50. If you kill like 20 of them, then it's probably going to send the rest of the 30 over. But just these things are really fun to play around with. Honestly, and that's all you got to do. Play around with them. The big one to be wary of, though, is the aiming skill. This is the big one that really, 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 really hurts people. So that's the biggest one that's going to have an impact on your player's life and death. Alright, that is it for MCC and... Oh, wait, sorry, we haven't actually done one thing, and I apologize about that. Okay, so, when we have this unit here, if we left-click on the map, we can give them movement points. We can tell them what we want them to do when they get there. These are really cool ones, search and destroy, when they get to that point. I'll change that. What they're going to do is they're going to go here, and they're going to search the area, and they're going to destroy anything they find. So they're going to be on a little bit more of a loose leash. It's important to note if you click replace instead of add, that marker is going to go away and they're going to go to this one. So you can also do your load, helicopter landing, getting in, artillery fire mission. We'll go over in a minute. I prefer to do that in Zeus, but you can tell them to join groups when they get there. There's just a lot of stuff you can do. But we're just going to do move. cycling, and cycle waypoints. So what's going to happen is when they get here, so they're going to do their search and destroy when they get here, and then they're pretty much going to go straight to their move marker because they're not, they see nothing in the area. They're kind of searching as they go. They might walk around a little bit. They might just go straight to the move marker. It all depends if they hear or see anything. So yeah, see, we're going on a search pattern now. Looks like we're going to go look at them in third person. So we can see they're kind of doing a little search around and everything like that. We can hear them giving voice commands, which is really cool. It's kind of one thing that's awesome about the AI is you're going to hear them giving those voice commands around. They're going to search a little bit in that area, and then they're going to move down to the move marker, and they're going to move this one, and then they're going to go to the cycle, and then they're going to search and destroy here again. And they're going to move, cycle, search, and destroy. So that's how you create like a nice patrol or anything like that really, really quickly. You just do that by selecting a unit, double-clicking, and then you have all this stuff. You can change how fast they're going to move. You can change how they're going to be. Careless basically means they're just going to like wander around and not really care, and all that stuff we did with spotting isn't going to matter. It's important to note if they are in combat, it is impossible to pull them out of anything that is but combat. So for example, if you have troops shooting at you, you cannot put these guys down into an aware mode or a safe mode or a careless mode. You can move them into stealth or you can move them into combat. So once they're in combat, that's the only two they can be in. If they're seeing enemies, they're going to be pretty much in combat. Formations, kind of everything's default V, so it depends if you just want other stuff. Like files are really cool to do, because then they're getting in a nice little line, or stagger column. Pretty sure we all know what that is. Alright. Okay, so that's pretty much that. You can do, like I said, the helicopter load-in, vehicle load-in, stuff like that. You can do... I prefer to micromanage those things, though, and I'll go over that when I go over the mission building at the end. Alright, very, very last thing. 3D editor. Wherever your mouse cursor is on this map, and you can drag it around by using right-click. Again, zooming in using scroll wheel in, out. When you right-click and press Alt, you become into... Or sorry, just press Alt and click. Apologies. So, just press Alt and left-click or right-click, doesn't matter. You come into the 3D editor. Q and Z, again, just like in Zeus. Shift slows you down instead of speeding you up. We can see all those units selected and everything like that, so we can see everything on the map. There we have the little map in the bottom corner. We went over all the controls for this, and they're on the right-hand side there if you ever need them. X is going to what's open our menu. So this is where we place, generally, we're going to place our TFAR boxes, our HEM boxes, stuff like that, our VAS boxes. Most of those are being placed through here. Like I said, the base building is a little bit more in depth in here too. So, again, we have these infantry vehicle static stuff, everything like that. We have the faction up here. Just going to change it based on what we do. So we're going to grab Rifleman. Alright, so what kind of sucks about this is when you start selecting somebody, you can't really move around until you get off of selecting all this stuff. Empty just means if they're going to have anything in it or not. For infantry, this does not apply, I believe. Could be wrong. You can change the name of people if you want, and then there's a bunch of these presets. These presets are really, really cool. Recruitable basically means you can recruit AI into your party if you want them. So if like, you want to have a big depot of AI that your players can recruit from, you can have that. You can have them make hostage. That basically means they drop all their weapons and they convert into civilian. And nobody will shoot them except when you go in, you'll have a scroll wheel option. I want to actually go over this really quickly. Show this in depth. So we click the add button, want to make hostage, and we press X to close the menu, and now we can do our stuff. Q and Z again, move up and down, and we're going to zoom, and we can see because we've made him a hostage, he doesn't have a weapon or anything like that. We use scroll wheel. If I spawn him way up here, it's very important to note that he's going to drop and fall and die. So don't do that. So we're going to put him as a hostage right here. Place. Why are you not placing? So, these guys aren't wanting... Give me a second. Maybe it's just run into... Oh. Let's go to USMC. There we go. Okay, so these guys are responding. So it's just the NSUS. Alright, so we're going to make him a hostage, this guy. And we're going to see how he looks different next to. We're going to teleport over here. We can see he's white on the map. We made as a hostage. And we can see, scroll next to this guy, we can open his stuff and stuff like that, but we can't. Over here we have secure hostage. This is now going to put the guy in my party as an AI, but he has no gear. He has nothing. Just his uniform, his backpack, his helmet, and stuff like that. Alright. So we're going to him. Alright, so we're going back into... Now you can also disband them. There. Alright, so we're going to go back in here. So we have the mic hostage. Join player, just going to join to your group, stuff like that. You can set Renegade. This isn't a really good one to use. I can show you a better way to do that, but essentially it makes blue 4 on blue 4, op 4 on op 4, stuff like that. If you want him to stand up, kneel, prone, you can do all those commands through Zeus as well, which are a little bit better. You can remove all weapons, remove all items from that person. You can say whether they're going to be controlled through the MCC Council. You can just add as many of these as you want to, by the way. Adding ones like make hostage, recruit player, join player, like all at the same time can cause issues, so don't do that. But all you do is you just click the add, and it adds it to this little thing here, and we can see that, and we can just, if we accidentally add something, you can delete it. Which we can see it's a decent amount of code line. But anyways, so we're going to go keep through and through. We have your general stuff here. Basically, you spawn a unit and they immediately die. They spawn, you flip them. It's something you don't really need to use in here. VAS, this is where we apply the VAS system. You can apply it to anything. You can apply it to players, vehicles, whatever, or characters, vehicles, whatever. You can make them kill only by satchels only. This is mainly for creating objectives. We'll go on that bit. The effects you generally want to stay away from, especially the fire one. It's going to... Smoke is fine. Flies are fine. Sandstorm's fine. It's going to apply fire to this person, and it's going to apply it at that position, and it's going to... This effect is going to last forever, basically, at that position. Then you can also create local marker, which you don't really need to worry about, and I never use. So, alright, we're going to go into VASs. Alright, so ammo. In here we have a few things. We have a lot of shit in here, obviously. You can spawn any faction's ammo with any faction, so you don't have to worry about that. TFAR. These are your boxes that contain your radios that we place down a lot. These ones are really... The NATO one is the one we use mainly when we're on Blue 4. Big thing to get used to. Alright. I don't think it's at the top, yeah. Okay. At the bottom is the AGM stuff. You need to place both an AGM miscellaneous items and medical supplies. It's a little easier to do through MCC just because you don't have to deal with a menu. But we can see we're going to place just a supply box, and we're going to apply VAS to it. Click the add. We click X to close that menu. And again, we use that control and stuff like that, and scroll up and down to do this. Once we place it, we press tab to get out of the menu, and we can see we have a VAS to use. So, and everything's in it, nice and awesome. But we can't control it through here. But instead, we can go back in, and we can... This one is a little finicky to do, but you can press deleting things. Like, see, it deleted the guy when I'm trying to delete this. So, it's just finding the right area. You can also just press Control X, and it'll delete the last thing you had. Alright, so very last thing is base building. There is a lot